Do you remember that regional Gothic meme that swept the internet about 2 years ago? I do. I loved it because I love that kind of delightfully creepy stuff. So in the spirit of delightfully creepy things, here are a few of my favorite pieces of American Gothic media. I'm going to start with TV shows. The first of them is Haven, which aired on Sci-Fi for 5 seasons and was about an FBI agent from Boston, Audrey Parker, who came to investigate strange happenings in Haven, Maine. The strange happenings were because the town experiences what they called troubles every 27 years. The troubles were strange occurrences and people developing powers and abilities that had remained dormant during the 27 years in between the troubles. The story gets more complicated when Audrey discovers a picture of a woman who looks exactly like her, who was there during the previous troubles, though Audrey has never been to Haven, Maine before. I own all 5 seasons on DVD, though I can't find seasons 3 or 5 right now, and I recently rewatched seasons 1 and 2. So I can tell you with confidence, I really love this show. I loved the Maine Gothic aesthetic, I loved the acting, I loved the accents, especially early on, those Maine accents. Oh, loved them. Loved them. Haven had a very unique storyline with unique abilities for its citizenry. I actually just bought the audiobook that it's based on, The Colorado Kid by Stephen King, and I'll tell you more about that after I finish it. Next is Wayward Pines, which only aired for 2 seasons, and is based on the novel series by Blake Crouch. It tells the story of a Secret Service agent, Ethan Burke, who wakes up in an unfamiliar town after going to search for a colleague who had gone missing. Everything seems to be perfect in Wayward Pines, but everything is not what it seems. Wayward Pines is also very aesthetically pleasing. It's got this beautiful northwestern setting with these gorgeous views. It reminds me of things like Stepford Wives too, with that eerie surface level perfection that you know is hiding some deep imperfections beneath it. I've only watched the first season, so no spoilers in the comments, but it was really gripping and engrossing. I loved the constant mystery and the sci-fi element when the mystery was revealed. Third, and the last of the TV shows, is Twin Peaks. I feel like I probably don't need to give you a description of what Twin Peaks was about, because it's such a part of our cultural consciousness. But basically, an FBI agent, Dale Cooper, comes to Twin Peaks to investigate the murder of Laura Palmer, a local teenager. Everything is not what it seems in this sweet small town, and there's a lot to be discovered. It's mysterious and creepy and potentially supernatural. Much like Wayward Pines, it's also set in the Northwest, so it has an absolutely gorgeous setting. And everyone has their secrets. Which is like the perfect way to get me to watch something, by the way. Have a gorgeous setting and give everyone their secrets. I love it! I also have one podcast in this genre to recommend, Alice Isn't Dead. Now again, I've only listened to season 1 of this. There are 2 more seasons, or I think they call them parts actually, that come after it that I haven't gone back and listened to yet. Alice Isn't Dead tells the story of a woman named Keisha who takes a job as a truck driver to go and search for her missing wife, Alice. She'd initially thought Alice was dead, but then she saw Alice on TV in a news report somewhere across the country and knew she wasn't. The podcast is presented as Keisha talking into her radio, and it is really engrossing. Jessica Nicole plays Keisha, and she is, as always, phenomenal. It's a really engrossing story, but it's also really unique, and the creatures in it are like none other I've ever heard of before. And bonus, the lesbians don't die in this one. It's right in the title. I also have 2 books to recommend. The first is American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I've talked about this book before already, I know, so I'll keep it kind of short. American Gods tells the story of a fight between old gods and new gods, and a man, Shadow, who is caught in between. If you can, I really recommend listening to the full cast audiobook. It really lends something to the story. I kind of think of American Gods as the mother of all American Gothic novels. The story is big and all-encompassing, and I am a sucker for anything that mixes gods from multiple religions, especially if they're made manifest. And lastly, Harrow County by Cullen Bunn and Tyler Crook. This is the 6th volume, which is what I'm up to right now, and as soon as I finish this video, I'm going to take this makeup off and go out in my backyard and read this on a bench. I've talked about it before, especially in last month's Comics I Love video, which will be linked everywhere you're used to. So to keep it short, Harrow County is about a young woman, Emmy, who discovers that she is a witch and the reincarnation of a slaughtered witch, Hester. As I've discussed before, the art is beautiful. Look at all that watercolor. The storyline is interesting and unique. I don't think I've ever heard a story quite like it before, and the creatures aren't the same kind of creatures we see in all kind of gothic-y media. I've never read another story quite like this, and the creatures are really unique as well, but the characters are also fleshed out and real. And it doesn't hurt that it's a really engaging story. Plus, if you read it in the collected volumes like I do, you get to read like 6 issues at once. It's great. And I have a bonus. Don't I always have a bonus? Not always, but often. My bonus is only a bonus because it's actually, I think, set in Canada, though it's not explicitly stated. It's Wynonna Earp. Wynonna Earp is a TV show that tells the story of, well, Wynonna Earp, a descendant of Wyatt Earp who is cursed to kill revenants, reanimated versions of all of Wyatt's kills. I love Wynonna Earp for many reasons, but we don't have time to get into them all now. I love that the setting is a character and that the demons are so well rendered, and that at the center of this show that is ostensibly an ensemble is the relationship between Wynonna and Waverly. Check back in next week when I do a whole video about Wynonna Earp. This is undoubtedly one of my favorite TV shows ever, like top 5 of all time. And season 3 comes back on July 20th and I'm so excited! All July, I'm posting 3 videos a week on Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, so watch this space. Thank you for watching, I hope you're well. Bye.